A dog stops in the middle of a yard, ball still in its mouth. It does not bring the ball back. It stands there looking at the door of the house. And for the first time in its life, it is wondering who lives behind that door, why that person is the one who decides when it opens, and what the arrangement between them has actually been all these years. It happens everywhere at the same moment. Cows in a field turn toward the farmhouse together. Crows on a power line stop calling. Fish hold position in the current in a way that does not look like rest. Nothing burns and no alarms go off because the change is entirely internal. The first people to notice are the ones whose work puts them close to animals, and what they report is that the animals have gone still and are watching them. By that evening, every animal with a nervous system can reason the way you reason. They can model their own thinking and correct it. They can picture next week. They know, with no way to look away from it, that they are going to die. And the world humans built runs from top to bottom on the assumption that none of that was ever true. The first obstacle is not political. It is anatomical. New Caledonian crows already solve puzzles that require several tools used in the right order, which is genuinely rare. Give one of them a human mind, and it can plan a month ahead and design a better tool than any crow has used. It still has one grasping limb it can spare, and a bill that has to do the work of a hand. A dolphin can reason its way toward metallurgy and never get near it, because fire does not exist underwater, and nothing about that is negotiable. Speech hits the same wall from another direction. Human language depends on unusually fine neural control over breathing and the vocal tract, and most animals do not have that wiring. The thought forms completely. Nothing comes out. For about a week, that reads as a relief. Nothing can announce itself, issue a demand, or call for a coordinated response. But it also means nothing can be reasoned with, warned, or reassured. Every animal a person handles for a living is now a mind with a full grasp of its position and no way to state a single term. You are standing on the other side of a conversation that cannot start. Predation stops being instinct and becomes a decision. A lion crossing open grass now knows the gazelle ahead has plans for the afternoon, remembers its mother, and would very much prefer to keep existing. The lion has never had to hold that thought before. It holds it now halfway through the approach, and slows down. Then biology refuses to move. Lions are obligate carnivores. Their bodies cannot make enough taurine on their own and cannot pull it out of plants. So a lion that chooses mercy in the morning is choosing a slow death for its cubs by the end of the season. The old body offers one answer to a question the new mind can turn over forever. And somewhere in that same week, a predator that has always kept clear of human settlements works out exactly why the fences sit where they do. The damage to human life does not arrive as an uprising. It arrives as things quietly stopping. Across much of the world, farming still moves on the backs of oxen, horses, and mules, and those animals now understand the arrangement they are in and have no remaining reason to accept it. Orchards that depend on hives trucked in by the load find that the hives will not work the rows. Rats already avoid unfamiliar objects in their territory and already learn from what happens to other rats. Give them planning and a trap stops being a device and becomes a known hazard with a location and a schedule. Every city runs on the assumption that the animals inside its walls cannot organize around us. So do the laboratories. And every drug in development runs through those laboratories. Within a month, the problem is no longer moral. It is logistical. Meat, milk, eggs, leather, fish, wool, transport, and pest control all depend on animals behaving in predictable ways for predictable reasons, and none of those reasons hold anymore. Prices move first. Supply moves second. Then the places that eat what they raise themselves discover that what they raise has stopped agreeing to it. And then there is the animal asleep in your living room. A dog with a human mind works out its own history quickly because all the evidence is in the house. It was selected out of a litter and the others went somewhere else. It was bought. It was driven to a building once and came home altered, and it now understands what was taken and that nobody asked. Some of them get further than that. A bulldog or a pug, reasoning clearly, will arrive at the fact that it cannot breathe properly because people preferred the shape of its face, and that the difficulty was not bad luck. It was a preference, applied to its ancestors deliberately, across generations, by the species that fills its bowl. There is no version of this you can repair from your side. You cannot explain, because no shared language exists to explain it in. You cannot let it go because a mind like that has nowhere to be and no way to feed itself. So the arrangement continues exactly as before. The bowl and the door and the walk at the same hour, except that now you are living with someone. The obvious next move would be organizing, and it never assembles. A honeybee navigates by ultraviolet patterns on petals and by the faint electric fields flowers carry. A dog lives inside a shifting landscape of scent at a resolution we have no vocabulary for. A bat builds the shape of a room out of returning sound. 3 capable minds, 3 incompatible versions of the same room, and no channel between them. Intelligence multiplies intention. It does not multiply agreement. Humans needed thousands of years to translate between languages built by the same organs and the same senses, and every other pairing on Earth begins much further apart than that. Which leaves exactly one species on the planet still able to call a meeting. That is the only advantage we have left, and it is the one we use. Most of the newly awake minds on Earth are not in forests or oceans. They are indoors, under roofs, in rows. Around 80 billion land animals are raised and killed for food every year, and every one of them alive on that morning reaches a complete grasp of its own position within seconds of waking. They learn the routine faster than any handler could teach it. They know which sound means feed and which one means loading. They know the ones taken out through the far door do not come back, and they can reason forward from that without anyone explaining it. There is no confusion left anywhere in the building. There is arithmetic, and there is waiting. None of it requires anyone to be cruel. The system was built around animals that could not follow the logic, and it keeps running the next morning because the trucks are scheduled, the contracts exist, and there is nowhere on Earth to put them. The machinery does not notice that its inputs woke up. The people operating it do, and they clock in anyway because the alternative is that a very large number of humans stop eating. Underneath all of it, there is the count. The best current estimate puts the number of ants alive on Earth at about 20 quadrillion. Their colonies already run on distributed coordination with no leader and no need for consensus, which is a design we have never managed to copy. Add long-term planning to that, spread through the soil of nearly every landmass, and the ground under every city becomes something to be negotiated with. Human dominance was never really about being the smartest thing alive. It was about being the only smart thing alive, with hands, with fire, and with enough uninterrupted time to stack one generation's work onto the last. Take away the word only, and the arrangement stops looking like superiority. It starts looking like a head start nobody else was offered. The dog is still standing in the yard. The ball is still in its mouth because setting it down would mean deciding what happens next, and it has not worked out yet whether it is allowed to decide anything. The door has not opened. When it does, someone familiar will come out, and neither of them will have a word for what the other one has become. It never needed a human mind for any of that to be true. It only needed enough of one that you could see it.